Hi guys, I'm here at DreamHack Summer 2014 for the Dream League Season 1 offline finals. I'm joined here by TobiWan from joinDOTA. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. Been relaxing. I say relaxing. I've been working my ass off the last few days, but I like being here in DreamHack and not actually having to cast for once. It's wonderful.
So what is your role this weekend?
I'm here to help coordinate the joinDOTA coverage go. So yeah, we've got like a team of 6 people here, and we're doing video interviews, pitches, all that kind of jazz. Like the normal works. Well, I say normal works. We don't normally do this, but we wanted to try it out, and I was like, yeah, I've got 5 days free, so here I am.
So DreamHack is an event that you've probably been to a fair lot out of like most casters here and everything. From your point of view, this new stage they have this year, is this probably the best to give Dota 2 this year?
It's the best they've done for Dota 2, definitely. Like the cast area 2, like it's nice and isolated, but like, come on, our stage 2 years ago was like a bunch of crates put up there with some like sort of panels on top of it. That was our stage then. This one's actually built properly. They've like, everything's really nicely designed here. If I came here, I was just like, okay, I want to see if this is a professional thing, get like the white glove kind of thing, looking for the dust kind of shit. Like, you know it's going to be like, this is good quality. This is really good quality stuff.
Is there anything you would change in this setup? I mean, could we go any bigger than this, or are we just limited to show space, do you think?
I would add cushions to the chairs for the spectators, because your ass really hurts if you're sitting in these things for too long. But that's always been DreamHack, like, it's a pain in the ass in some points. The only thing which I'd probably want to change is actually having like proper noise cancelling. Like, you got the headsets on, but it doesn't do the full job. And when you got the PA speakers right next to players, it never does it right. I'm still waiting to see what Valve does at TI4. Like, the shock-proof cages so they can't even feel the bass going through the floor. Maybe Valve, ideas, money, part of the 10 million goes towards that.
Well, I'm pretty sure they could afford it this year. Speaking of which, we're now at around 9.5, 9.6, and quickly heading towards $10 million. I mean, as a proud member in the community, would you ever imagine we could raise that much money?
That much money? No. No. But once I saw like the way they did the compendium, like if it was like the last year compendium, be like, no, we'll never raise that much money. But then it's like immortal unlocks and cards, and level up was possibly the greatest thing that Valve has ever invented as far as making money on a compendium. You put all that together and you see these things and you're just like, man, we're gonna hit 10 million. I remember I actually sat there the first time I saw this, it's like $1.6 million? Nah, that's gonna be like nothing in this, and it's gonna be 10 million. These stretch goals won't last, and they didn't. They really, really didn't. And even the new ones. Valve, don't stream the after party. I won't be there then. Sorry. Get that out of me.
So if they do stream it, you won't be there?
Probably not, no. I'll be organizing my own karaoke after party for everyone in Seattle that wants to come and see that.
There are some really good karaoke bars in Seattle. You probably experienced some of those last year.
No, I couldn't, because last year I arrived and I got instantly sick. And because like the problem was, like, you would arrive the day before the main event, and like you've just been casting the prelims like on a really weird time zone at a really weird hour, and then you fly for like 16, 17 hours to get there, and then you're like, oh god, all I want to do is just sleep and like have vitamin C so I don't get really, really sick, and that's all you want to do. So I never actually got to have any fun.
Okay. Well, speaking of rival, I think this year's going to be very interesting. The range of talent that's been invited now, I still think there's a couple more invites still going out, but it seems like we have almost every member of the community has really worked hard this year over the many years. Are you looking forward to being able to just experience the whole event, during the entire month, rather than just turning up on the day before?
It was something which I've been asking Bruno, I've been asking IceFrog, I've been asking Finol, anyone I can get my hands on, I've been asking them, let us do the coverage from the prelims. I always felt like the prelims, like, and I got the answer back from this, like, it's just a sorting kind of thing. I'm like, no. This is the biggest event in Dota. The entire calendar year, this is the biggest event. Every game is so critical and important. You have to actually give it the same respect. Us casting from our studios and then traveling in a 24-hour period is not giving it respect. So this year around, I remember I messaged Valve and I said, thank you. You've made me a very, very happy person. You have given me what I was searching for. So I'm really looking forward to this TI4.
That's really good to hear. Can you give us a bit more insight into your role at TI4, or is that still hush-hush?
I don't believe I'm allowed to comment on what's going to happen at TI4. All I can say is, like, I know when I'm going to arrive, I know when I'm going to leave.
And that makes you very happy?
Yes.
It sounds like good news then. Looking slightly less forward, obviously we have ESL One Frankfurt around the corner, which joinDOTA, you guys are going to be leading the coverage on that. How's it been working with ESL?
It's actually been really good. Like sometimes it's been stressful in the past working with ESL, but we've been working side by side with them. Like you probably noticed on most of the overlays and stuff. joinDOTA's name's been sitting right next to them the entire time because we're trying to work with them to make this event great. There's no point having two companies inside of Germany battling up against each other to try and make something big. So yeah, we joined forces, and ESL, they really thought big. They really did big, and it's wonderful. I love what the ESL have done. They've transitioned from like this. We kind of want to touch on Dota, League of Legends is big, but we just want to see if we get like a toe in the water with the EMS one. And then they said, okay, this opportunity's come up, like it's the World Cup, the screen's set up for that. We could probably take over the stadium. Do you want to take over a stadium? Sounds like a great idea, let's take over a stadium. So yeah, they planned a huge ass event. It's going to be great. Cast of talent there, I'm also looking forward to casting with Synderen again. Good to give Cap his first run as well, as far as like a big stage. Yeah. Like, the biggest stage ever. Baptism by fire, really.
I hope he can cope. He looks like he's a man who can cope. Do you think it's too bloody big, like a football stadium? Like, it's crazy.
No, I think you gotta think bigger. Like, if you just say, oh, let's just try 5,000, or let's just try like 10,000 people can fit into a stadium. You go like, okay, that's probably the wrong thing. 1,000, 2,000. Like, if you just think small and you try and incrementally grow, you're never going to do something which is going to like flag on everyone's radar. Like the TI4, for example, is $10 million. Everyone's looking at it going, holy sh... And it's on everyone's lips, it's on everyone's minds what's happening at TI4, to a point where it has actually like shut out a lot of the rest of the community. But they do something big, they get noticed. It's that simple. And the Dota community these days, if you don't do something big, if you don't find a way to get noticed, you can't create hype, and you won't get viewers, you won't please your sponsors, and your project will just be flatlining. So you've got to try and do something big, get people's attention, and keep people's attention.
Are you slightly worried that's something hard to mirror though, year after year? So, you know, such a big scale event like that, running costs and everything. Do you think it's going to be really hard to mirror that next year?
You mean like ESL One? Yeah. I don't think it's that hard to mirror, really. There's a lot of money coming into esports, and once you've proved that you can do something that big, it's a lot easier to do it again. The harder thing is actually taking a step backwards, because like once you overextend yourself, like I remember when we first started in Dota 2, and we were trying to run tournaments. Like joinDOTA was the first group to ever run a tournament. We ran our $500 the BenQ Clash, if anyone remembers that, which was like a 3-day event, which was like the most talked about thing in Dota. It was the first thing after TI1, and we're like €500. We'll start there, and then that started to get slower. So we built 1,000. Then like bit by bit we went forward, because like we didn't, like even defense, it was $10,000, which was crazy at that time to pump into a prize pool, and we slowly built it up. Because if you go, here's a $50,000 tournament, and then next season like, well, we couldn't find the sponsor for it, we're only doing 20K, people would be like, huh, why would I care, it's 20K? Because you just lost reputation, and that's probably the biggest thing. You keep your rep, you keep your project moving forward.
Now you spoke there of the defense. Is there anything regarding the defense on the line and the future of joinDOTA? I know you guys are currently moving into quite a big new office in the same building you're at the moment.
Yeah, we have plans. Obviously nothing is concrete right now. We're looking for people that want to get involved. The main thing we basically said was we don't want to do something unless we can do it right. It's just that simple. So when we know we can do something that we're going to be proud of, we'll do it.
So what's your checklist of doing it right? Is that a LAN event maybe? Or
100%. Must be LAN. It must be LAN, must be global. It must be a prize pool which the players will be happy with. And also it's everything else surrounding it. Like, we want to be able to create hype with it, so I want to make sure I've got a casting team which is good enough to actually cover this event. Means also our studio, our production value needs to be at that level, which we are heavily working on right now, and look forward to unveiling, hopefully soon. So yeah, we want to put everything together just to make it work. Obviously space is another thing. Like, because we're in Germany, especially Berlin, there's actually a couple of locations around us where we could run an event LAN final. Like, we could do like the home story kind of thing, because we've got a lot of space in our offices, so we could have like our production area, we could have like casual area as well. We could have like even one of our meeting rooms can be turned into just a gaming room where people can just chill and eat and stuff like that. So we got a lot of options as far as like how we want to run it, but the primary thing is always finding sponsors who want to get involved in something like this. They're there, but you got to lock them in. And you got to lock them in with more than just peripherals. Like, they're going to be willing to spend money and not just say, we'll give you a mouse and a keyboard and that'll be enough.
So how's the new progress going on in the studio? You guys almost finished, or is it a pretty big task still?
It's a really big task. We're currently at a point where we're trying to design the studio itself, because like we don't want to just like put a piece of canvas up on a wall. That's our current studio. Like, it's nicely tight canvas and really nice, but it's our base. It's our secondary studio. So we know what we have. We know that's good, but we know that's not the best. So what we want to create is something which is world class. Even if we don't have like the entire TV production crew behind it, you can work really efficiently with space and with tools which are already out there, that you could make something which anyone would say, hey, this looks like it's in a TV studio. That's the feeling we want. So we want to make it look as swanky as possible.
So do you think, on a more slightly negative note, with the obviously with the international being announced very late this year, and also the prize pool just reaching the vast $10 million mark, it's like, do you feel that's overshadowed the likes of ESL One Frankfurt and the Summits tournament?
Definitely. We need to really start to space out our tournaments for Dota 2 a lot better. Be done by the coordination of Valve, or just the tournaments talking to each other. Obviously it's dangerous, so like when ESL One is like, we're booking a stadium, we're doing a huge thing, you want to keep it secret from everybody else, so they either don't copy your idea, or they do something which is bigger, matching it around the same time. So there needs to be like an independent party, or basically Valve needs to coordinate its esports scene better. Because once that happens, then you can start to say, well, people like, I don't want to spend money on a compendium for ESL One because I'm saving for TI4. So if you can space that out, you can space where the community's attention should be. Like Dream League right now, it's a wonderful stage, it's a wonderful production crew, DreamHack do a wonderful job as always, but the hype doesn't really feel there in the community right now, because it's you got this giant sitting next to what, like a year ago was the giant, but because it's $10 million, everything is overshadowed. So a way to filter the focus of like the fundraising, which it really is fundraising, people buying stuff, it all goes towards the greater prize pool. Like that kind of stuff needs to be filtered a lot better, so you don't just have an overbearing tournament. While it makes a lot of like noise for the community, it's great. It really makes everyone else just struggle to keep up with the level that Valve try and reach.
Are you a big fan of these prize pool increasing tickets, or do you think there may be a mark where maybe too many of them in right now?
I'm a fan of the more money coming in through the tickets. Prize pool wise, I kind of sit on the edge of like if it should be called prize pool or if it should just be called salary, because the teams really should earn money for just competing. Like the way it works in normal sports, you get paid to turn up. You get paid a match fee. So you come in and you go, okay, well, because I'm actually on the field, I get paid like $5,000 for like kicking a ball around. Like, yay for me. The same kind of thing should happen for the players. They turn up for a game, they should get paid money for it. Just that simple. So the money kind of like, it may not be visible to the community. You could call it prize pool, just so, because I think that's what the community is used to. It's like, if I don't see a big number prize pool, I'm just not that impressed. Where the team's like, we love this competition because we get exposure for our sponsors and we get payment for our players and our teams. So we can keep everything running and we can be more professional in the scene, be full-time players. Yeah. That's probably more important than just saying prize money's big. But I'm a massive fan of having the money still coming in from the tickets because it lets us do more.
So if you were in charge of the prize pool split for TI4, how would you space it out?
How would I do it for TI4? Everyone gets something. Like, that's got to be the key part of it. At the same time, you still want to have it a little bit more top-heavy because you want to reward teams for going to number one. Like, I kind of like preferring like the Chinese approach to everything. If I'm not number one, I'm nothing. Like, you still want to pay money out because like there's so much money there. But it should always be top-heavy. Number one should be what counts more than anything else. But you should still be paid enough that you can keep your team going and stuff like that.
So let's say first prize won $5 million. Are you not worried that team may just consider the rest of the year until the next TI comes up pretty pointless to them?
Yeah, that's what money will do anyway. Like, we've seen teams disband and reband, and like everything will change. So even if you have a team, like you can have those 5 players reform again just before TI4, but they've been playing around with a whole bunch of other teams the rest of the time. There's nothing which keeps the team stable and together. And there's nothing also which combines the rest of the year into the international, beyond if Valve's like, we'll invite these guys, they're cool. They've been playing together for a while, yeah, great. Like, that's all it really is. It's can you convince Valve to invite you? And while it's that way, yes, what you were saying will be possible. When it's not that way anymore, then you're okay.
So if we do a comparison, I don't know if you're aware of the CSGO scene and how it works there. It's kind of like their treasure chests, their crates, raise esports money, and then they give that to tournaments like DreamHack and ESL to host some big CSGO tournaments. And that kind of splits up, let's say, $250,000 for each one of those. It kind of spreads through the year, 4 events, and it's kind of like mini internationals all along the way. Or would you prefer just the current what we have now, just one big tournament?
I like the fact of one big tournament, because I think as far as marketing goes, to always put Dota on the spotlight a big time once a year, that's really important. But at the same time, Valve need to help with the infrastructure. Like, you could take it like the chess and like selling, like making money and then divvying it up, but who makes the decision on who should get the money? Like, that's open to a lot of bias right there. You could say DreamHack should be getting some money, but why should a tournament which is being run in India, which may not have as much exposure or great teams, why should they also not get this funding for the infrastructure? So it's going to be really difficult to run a system like that without it getting massively biased, or like, oh, I'm a friend of this guy, so you'll give us like $300,000 for our tournament? Sure. That should be the way it works.
Okay. I don't want to keep you any longer. I know you've been pretty busy here in the press area. So before I let you go, I just want to say thanks to your fans and maybe join DOTA a bit.
Yeah, go joinDOTA.com. We do awesome coverage there. Twitter, my Facebook, TobiWan DOTA. I love it. It's great. It's awesome, and I love everyone who follows me there. And of course, thanks to also like our crew and everyone else that's just here enjoying Dota. So, shout out to you guys.
All right, thanks, Toby. And as always, stick with us for more coverage here at DreamHack.